on Tuesday. And this photo was taken by New York Magazine published in June 19, 2011. So June 14, 2011, I moved away from New York City for the first time. I moved to Chicago to fulfill my dream of being a teacher. 5 days later, multiple people send me a link, emails, Facebooks, everyone's sending me this, right? From New York Magazine, the smelliest block in New York City. I knew immediately it was my block. Jenny, you live there. You know it's our block, like that block, yeah. And it was true. It was absolutely true. This was the smelliest block in New York City. Broome between Allen and Eldridge. Now, you might be asking, how did it smell? It was pungent, like seared through you, right? Rotting, like dead things, rotting food, right? It was disgusting. It really was disgusting. Like, my high school and college friends would, like, walk with me on this block and be like, Annie, we can't stay. We gotta go to the station. It stinks. My little brother told me earlier that, like, he had to pick up something for a friend, so he ran upstairs to the 5th floor where we grew up. And he ran down. His friend was missing. She had run over to Christie Street because it smelled so bad. It was bad. So then this article blew up, and all these people were like, why? Why does it smell so bad, right? So New York Magazine puts up like 9 or 10 photos of the street. They have like pictures of oranges. They have pictures of like chicken, right? And everyone on the internet, every single New York City periodical asked, why is this the smelliest street in New York? Cat urine? Human urine? There were judgments from everyone, right? Someone in Williamsburg made a perfume out of this block. Seriously, they made a perfume. People made maps, like visual maps, trying to figure out whether it was car oil or Chinese cabbage, like where it was descending from on my block. People went on YouTube and started discussing my block. And do you have the video? No.
Understand what I'm smelling. It's like dirty diapers, rotting food, humans maybe. First, you got all the food shipments coming out. There's like broccoli and pig butt. And there's a foot reflexology center, which certainly isn't helping anyone's nose. This is just a massive pile of dirt and trash. Had to get out of there. Way too stinky. And I was getting weird looks for talking to trash. To be continued.
So I was away in Chicago at this point in time. I really wanted to be there because I was like, who are these people like coming to my block? Like, there have to be people like this person like coming to my block and sniffing around, like literally sniffing around. But I started thinking, I was like, what about my neighbors? What about my parents? Like, what if they're walking home and they see random people like looking at them, right? Gawking at them, ogling at them. Like, how could you live here? Like, how could you live on the street? How can you stand the filth on your street? How can you stand the shipping yard right here, or the chicken shop on our block, where my mom gets her bok chi kai for, you know, chicken, right? And so I'm starting to think, like, wait, we didn't ask for this. We didn't ask to be the smelliest block in New York City. No one asked for that, right? No one asked for there to be rats and cockroaches in my building. No one asked for there to be moldy walls or peeling paint. It's not our fault that we're the smelliest block. I asked my brother about it today, and he said that was probably the sewage, right? Like a bacterial broth, and it was like standing still. And of course, like when a huge magazine like New York Magazine reports on this, like, and tells you stink, you gotta fix it, right? So almost immediately, apparently, like I heard from my brother that they fixed the sewage system, right? They started digging. And I started thinking to myself, like, who's asking for this change? Is it the locals? Like, is it us, the neighbors, who are asking for this change to happen? Or are these outsiders telling us what's good for us? Right? So I grew up in Chinatown. I went to PS42, and then I went to MS 131. And I was surrounded by Chinese people all the time. So, like, I grew up on gaojiao, like, kanji, right? I ate all these things that smelled wonderful to me, right? I spoke Cantonese that didn't sound angry to me. It was my language at home, right? And I started to realize other people didn't think of my food or my language or my culture the same way I did. They thought it stunk. I mean, it did stink. My block did stink. But it just, like, reinforced, like, how much they thought we stunk. So here, you can't see it because the picture got cut off, but this used to be a shopping grocery store. Now, 2 years after that article came out, Williamsburg Pizza. My brother was like, we're done. Our block is done. The hipsters are coming. Like, this used to be a window frame shop that was there forever. Now it's for rent. Before 2011, there was only one building out of our 24 apartments in my building that wasn't a family home. White tenants, apartment 4D. Like, now in the past 3 years, 4 more families have moved out, and now there's multiple tenants, you know, of all different races, but upper class people, right? 2 years ago, I see a lot of people, strangers with suitcases, like in and out constantly, and I looked up my address, Airbnb, right there, right on my block. And I'm starting to think, like, what's happening? Like, am I gonna have a home to come back to in 10 years? So I moved back in July from Chicago. I was there for 5 years, and I wanted to feel like I could be bicultural again. Like, I could speak Cantonese in the streets. I could be bilingual. I could eat my food. I can speak Cantonese at one moment and speak English at another moment, right? I'm sure with a lot of you in the crowd, I could do that. Like, I could code switch at any moment, which is amazing. But I keep thinking to myself, like, what's going to happen here? 2015, Bowery Boogie says that we are still the smelliest street in New York City. But Foursquare, I looked it up yesterday, declared the smelliest block in all the land closed. I get some nice things now that I didn't used to before. Some things are the same. So the synagogue is still here. The Chinese Hispanic grocery store is still kitty corner from me. The Fuzhou place that used to close all the time because of health inspections, super popular now. $2 peanut butter noodles. I finally went like a few months ago, and it's so good. But some things have changed. Back when I was in college, like, I got accepted to Columbia, and my mom sat outside these steps for 8 hours waiting for the DHL guy. Today, I got an Amazon Prime package in my door. Like, didn't have to wait for it, you know? So you might be asking, do I miss that smell? I don't know. I can't really tell. I kind of want it back. Not really, no, it stunk. It really stunk. But I don't know. I can't tell you if I miss it. Thank you.